Welcome back everybody, welcome back to Matthew's Modelling. This time, as promised, we're in the Wagon Works. A few things to show you in this Wagon Works, should I say 2 wagons and a coach. In fact, I'm not even going to waffle on, I'm just going to crack on and just show you what's going on. So the first wagon, I just come round, is here. Look at that. Now here we have a long wagon. We've got a weld wagon here carrying a brand new Drury diesel shunter for the layout. Now this arrived some time ago now, from a personal guy who builds these kind of things. He does a lot of weathered items and things on eBay, and he does some pristine things, as you can see, and this was one of them. It's built to an extremely high standard, that shunter kit, extremely high. You know, the Airfix Drury shunter kit has been around for a hell of a long time, and that one, the painting is, you know, second to none. Absolutely brilliant job. And then he's mounted it on this very nicely weathered well wagon. So we've got the track in the bottom there, secured by some chains. Now I've got a bit of a quick confession to make as I was getting this out to film. It slipped from my hand ever so slightly, and a couple of the chains have come loose. As you can see, that chain's not attached to the wagon anymore. Not to worry, stick that back down, there was no damage caused. Luckily it just landed on that chain fitting point and it came loose. So yeah, now a nice thing about this is that I've already created my own scrap Drury shunter on a flatbed. Mine's on a shorter wagon, I think mine's on a low mac, but it's exactly the same. It's chained more or less the same. It's sat on a piece of track, but mine's a scrap one and this is a brand new pristine one, so it's like we're getting rid of that one and we're bringing this one in, so they look nice as a pair. This is actually now my tallest wagon, so when I was building the you know, the tunnel mouths on the new layout, this was the gauge setter for the height, so I can now run it, because on the old common barn I couldn't, but we can now. So yeah, so this is the first wagon to show you. This very nice weld wagon with a very nice pristine shunter on the back. So we'll just push this one out of view and then we'll bring the next one in. And we've got ourselves a little box van. Now I'm trying to build up a nice little rake of box vans. I think this is the 3rd box van I've got, or you could call it 4 if I whack on the Airfix cattle wagon that I built. It's pretty similar, but picked this up second hand in a localish model shop not so long ago. The thing that drew me in was the livery and the colours. Now whether or not this is a prototypical Hornby livery or not, I do not know. I think the turquoise and the grey is. I'm not sure about the brown roof, but I love it. You know, it looks like the roof was knackered at one point and they needed a new one, so they just threw a brown one on. It was weathered when I got it, but I have gone over it again and given it my own. I've rusted out the metal panels on the end there. I've gone over some of the bars and whatnot. There's a massive black washes, I don't know if you can pick it out on the roof. There we go, that's got a load. And the same on the other side. So it's very streaky, very patchy. Yeah, so it's a lovely wagon, lovely wagon. So I'm glad to add that into the little box van fleet, especially one with such an appealing livery. And it leads us nicely on to another kind of wagon slash coach, shall we say, that I've been working on, which I'm so proud of it, so proud of it. So I want to wheel these out and then I might put you down on the board for this one, so we can have a good look at it. So I want to get these away and then I'll come back with the other items, so just bear with me a second. Right, okay, I'm back. Right, now there's a little story behind this next item I want to show you. Now recently I was lucky enough to get up to the absolutely brilliant location of Henley-on-Thames, and the amount of memorabilia and stock and things up there in such a unique, quirky nature is, it's absolutely fantastic. They don't do open days very often, but I thoroughly encourage anyone to get up there and have a pop at visiting up there, because it's absolutely fantastic. But whilst I was there, a piece of rolling stock caught my eye, and it was tucked away nicely in a little siding. But was kind of a bit too close and on top of it really to get a decent picture. Now luckily I've got a friend who actually works up at Henley-on-Thames, and he managed to get me some images and some photographs of this particular item, and I've done my best to try to recreate something similar. It's not a replica, it's just something similar. And what this entails is one of those, so a wagon chassis, and then it also entails a coach. Not particularly that type of coach, but all you need to know is that it incorporates a coach or a wagon chassis. Now at the time when I saw this, I didn't twig this is what was involved. But basically what it is an extremely short coach. I'm talking really short, a hell of a lot shorter than you'd find a four-wheeled coach anyway. Even more so these very small Hornby four-wheel coaches. And I got in touch with this mate of mine, and he told me a bit more about it. And what it actually was 1/3 of a Lancashire and Yorkshire coach body. And this 1/3 of a coach body had been mounted onto a wagon chassis, therefore creating an extremely tiny coach. And not only that, but the 1/3 of a coach body doesn't even fill the chassis. It leaves a nice little space at the end for a balcony or a veranda. And I saw it. It was in a lovely brown and black livery. And it was just beautiful. Obviously the small tiny quirky nature, it just jumped straight out at me. It was built to such a beautiful standard, it really was a lovely item. So I got home, and of course that was fresh in my mind. Right, that was brilliant, let's have a go at recreating one. So got myself a wagon chassis. As you all saw in the last stock update, I've already bagged myself a few of these lately. So we had the wagon chassis, I got the coach, and I got chopping and cutting up and scratch building. Now as I say, it's not an exact replica, but it still is what it is. It's a tiny coach with a lovely little balcony at one end. And yeah, I'm extremely proud of it. It's not something I've seen many of before. I've put my own twist on a prototype, and I'm quite happy with it. So I'm going to slowly bring it in to shot. We'll put it on this back line. I'll put it on this front line. There it is. So this is Common Barn's very own tiny balconied coach now. I mean, that is what it is. So as you can see, we've got I think that's an old Hornby Lima wagon chassis. I've replaced it with some metal wheels on there. Very noticeable Hornby four-wheel coach that's been chopped down. Built my own bulkhead for it, put a doorway in there, got some plastic strip door frame, and then I have actually run a piece of plastic strip over the join of the bulkhead, purely just to tidy it up a bit. It looked a bit, well, it was an okay job. It had been passable, but my OCD can't do with things like that. So I've bent a strip over the top, to go with it. The doorway in there is actually a concrete fence panel, but it just fit nicely in there. Hopefully you can see the plastic strip frame. Then for the balcony, that's just a piece of scribed plastic card flooring, floorboards. They are some wills or ratio fencing, and all I've done is every other bar I cut one out and I cut the spikes off the top. The knobs on the corner of the veranda, probably slightly too large. They are a bit smaller than the figure's head, so I think I'll get away with them, but they're the top of some mat pins. And then in the corner of the balcony, I don't know if I'll be able to pick it out, down there is a gauge setter. Now my friend got me some close-up pictures of that, and what it is basically just a pipe with a lever. There's also a dial on there and then a cap on the top, so a bit fiddly to scratch build, but you know, I felt like it needed it to be a decent representation. For my coach, went for a nice white. One thing I wanted to do was try and pick out those raised bits on the coach in black as well. It turned out to be a hell of a lot more fiddly than I thought, and they're not as raised as they appear either. And then we stuck a couple of lamps on it just for good measure. No transfer on this side as yet, so we'll just ignore that. But yeah, so there you have it, a very tiny coach, which is actually the third of a coach mounted on a wagon chassis. And the figure on there is just a very prestigious figure. Some might call him the owner of a particular railway on an island, but that's up to you. So yeah, I stuck the BR transfer on there just because it needed something. So we've got a number 1 and a BR logo. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. That's been running up on the embankment on my push-pull set with the halts very nicely. So yeah, there's one other thing I am tempted to add to this, and that was just a very small little chimney stack coming out of the top. Maybe this prestigious figure's got himself a little fire in there, but don't know, maybe too far. Let me know. But let me know let me know what you think of the whole thing. I'm happy with it and proud of it, but yeah, as always, let me know. So that's it for the wagon works. Next video we're going to see is a loco update. There's been a lot of work going on with locos, so we'll get a big loco update done. And then after the loco update, I've got a little bit of a different video. I'm having a look at something that I think some of you might like, so I thought I'd just have a quick run through with it on the camera and just show you what it is. And then we'll get back to a layout update. So yeah, as always, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.